Alright, hello everybody, and welcome back to Evoland 2. Last time we started the quest to get the Fragment here in the Sylph's Forest, in the Sacred Grove, and this time we will be continuing that quest. So, as a starter, we have the re-emergence of the vines that you have to break down with Fina, which is appropriate considering she's part Sylph. Now, these guys. You may think that they're just kind of decoration. If you walk in here, they just kill you instantly. Nothing you can do about it. So don't do that. And the vast majority of this dungeon is based around manipulating those enemies. Initially, I didn't know they could be manipulated. I guess you're supposed to recognize that they have kind of legs like a mammoth, and therefore can be moved in a similar fashion. But I'm getting slightly ahead of myself. So, you have this square. What does it do? It transports you to the past. So now we're in the past version of this place. And since we're in the past, we can knock this log over. And that gives us access to here. And from here, you have to realize that you can move it with Fina's attack. Oh, also, while we're back here, we should go up here. Because there is another slight section we can do with this. Because her attack moves through there, we can move him up. And that will be important for much later in this dungeon. But recognizing that you can move them with Fina's attack is the thing that kept me stuck here for like 10, 15 minutes or so. It's very annoying. Anyway, you may see that there's these guys. Those are the sadistas that they were talking about. They have the similar effect to these guys where they kill you, except they go in all four directions. But they can be affected by other things. Also important to note, once you've changed its position, it will stay that way depending on no matter what time period you go into. So now that we go back to the present, you'll find that it's still down there. Also, now we have this one we can enter. I wonder what it'll do here. Now we're in the future version. So the future version is interesting because when we get to the future, these guys aren't doing anything, and the sadistas aren't doing anything. But you'll also notice that these trees grow up here. So, in order to deal with that, we're going to have to move this guy again. Despite his sad state. And from that, we can see that it's now in the correct position that it will probably be hitting that, the sadista. That will be hitting that, you know what I mean? But once we do that, we see that it blocks the sadista, for one thing. Secondly, we push it down. It actually can't do anything because there's a tree there. But, once we do that, we have access to the next section, as long as we go back into the past when the trees are not grown. So as you can see, the main gimmick of this puzzle is that you're going through different time periods. There's two gimmicks. One is those guys and the sadistas. The second is manipulating time so that you can get to the right place at the right time. Also, once you pass certain things, they just grow instantly, which is kind of weird and annoying, but it's alright. As you can see, the sadista is completely blocking this path, so we have no way forward, so we have to see where this will take us. Hopefully it will take us to the future so we can get past it without needing to worry. Yeah, they have jumps that can jump between the past and the future and other ones. So now, we move this guy up. We can see that he will now be blocking the sadista's evil line of sight vision, I don't know what to call it, which means that we can safely walk this way, and we're going to have yet another thing jump up at us. These mushrooms will be important for literally, basically right now. But before we do that, let's go around this way. There's a lot of hidden treasure chests in this place, and some of them require, oops. Yep. Wow, my health didn't even go down there. I just got killed. Yeah, so that's what the sadista does. It's basically the equivalent of one of those guys. So, now that we've encountered that, we can see that, well, there's two things. Firstly, these mushrooms can be raised or lowered by Menos smacking them. So that is important for getting up that way, but before we do that, let's see what happens when we freeze this way. We encounter this guy, this little bouncy fellow. He will be important for later. Literally like a couple minutes from now. But as you can see, we can't do anything yet, so we have to raise and lower these mushrooms a bunch. That's kind of an annoying part about this section in particular. They have a variety of these mushrooms, and it just wastes time. I don't know why they did it this way. They could have just had like one in the center. Or maybe two, because you have to ensure that certain things are the way they are. Also, as you get into the future, also you see how that chest is grayed out there? That means it's only available in a certain time period, which is not the past. Also, this is going to take us into the future. And in the future, as I will show you right now, Menos cannot raise or lower those mushrooms. So you have to make sure you switch it over now, so that this mushroom is down when you reach here. Oh, crud. I messed up, but it's fine, because I can just go back immediately. So that will be important for later, as you... well, I'll show it in a second. But, remember how last time we got killed when we went this way? Well, this time, it's in the future, and these guys are just kind of waiting around. We can go this way and get this chest, which contains a collectible star. We're up to 22 out of 30. Not bad. Definitely making our way in collectible stars. But now that we've done that, I'll show you briefly. If you try and cross this now, you'll see that that little guy that was there before has now turned into this giant one. Also, by doing this, you see that you can freeze him, but he's not going to move, and we can't move him. So we can't progress forward in the present, I mean the future, so now we need to go into the present. And here we need to cross this again. As you can see, you can freeze him even now, and this is when you really have to. Because if you freeze him here, he can block the... oh, nope, not there, sorry. Haha. Next one. If you freeze him up here, he blocks the Sadista's line of sight and therefore lets us walk through. And now that grows so that we're stuck here. So that's alright. Okay, and there we go. And, oh, we're gonna have another one of those to deal with. So that's something to look forward to. If you walk up here, you can't really do anything, and then you get killed by that guy. So don't do that. Oh, I'm stuck back here. Alright, this will take just a second, probably. Unfreeze, you SOB. Oh, I wonder if he unfreezes if I hit him all the time, or if that was just random chance. Weird. Alright, frozen in the right place this time. And just so that it saves that I made it here, I'm gonna use this, which takes me to the future again, so I can walk through here without having to worry about Sadista. And there's that there, which we can't get yet. Right, that's what this whole thing's about. Okay. So, after figuring that out, we need to now wait for the tomato to bounce in the way of this, so that we can walk up here. Then switch to Menos, so we can smash this mushroom down. Then wait for the tomato again. And then when we go into the future, we'll be able to make it past this mushroom. Also, while we're here, might as well move this guy out of the way. That will be somewhat important for later. But actually it'll be somewhat important for right now, because now we need to be able to make it across in the present. And before we wouldn't have been able to do that because that guy would have blocked our path, but now, as long as we don't go too far to the right, we can make it. So, first we want to freeze this guy, and then we can just cross this way. And now we're all good. So, once we've finished that puzzle, we can cross over here, knock this mushroom down using Menos, And, like, you might see this section, you can't actually access that. It's just kind of there for fun. Also, that's grown again. Come and disturb me, who does? That's right, we have the Yoda tree. Watch out, Oni. He seems pretty tough. You can count on me, Oni. I'm going to use my full strength in this battle. I don't know why everyone's assuming the worst. He's a fucking tree. I mean, friggin' tree. Wait! This is most certainly the Forest Guardian. I can't believe I almost turned him into wood chips. We are sincerely sorry, Mr. Guardian, sir. I am not certain he can understand us. He seems in rather poor health. Let's try using the Sylph steer. Let's use candy that's been licked. That won't work. Okay, fine. I still wish I knew what the heck the purpose of this was. But, oh, we have the Sylph steer. Oh, he looks happy now. From the Sadista's evil influence, healed me you have. My thanks you have, younglings. I'm glad to see you're doing better, Forest Guardian. The Guardians we ran into before were slightly more aggressive. Reward you I must, yes. Sadly, very little do I possess. The Oracle told us that the Magi had entrusted you with a fragment of the Magi key. Indeed, this fragment I have, and give it over to you I will. Good care you will take, Dangerous this fragment is. We'll do our utmost to remember that venerable Yoda tree. How do you know his name? He didn't even say what it was. We got the Fragment of Nature, one of the 5 pieces of the Magi key. Sweet. So that's all that, right? And yet, sad I am. Now trapped in this sacred grove you are. Trapped? But why? Overrun the sacred grove the Sadistas have. Strangers escape they cannot. That's awful. I can't be stuck here. The force I sense in you, younglings. Aid you, perhaps it can. It? The force? What force? Find it, perhaps you can. But most surely you, it will find. What a curious way he has of speaking. We have to find it, Oni. Whatever that is. I'm not in love with the idea of being stuck here my whole life. I mean, apparently time doesn't really pass here, so maybe you wouldn't be stuck here forever, or maybe you'd be stuck here for eternity. But what force is... Whoops. But what force is it he was talking about? Well, the force, obviously, you know, with the whole lightsabers and that... No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, that didn't work. You might be able to just follow him while he bounces, but I don't know if I want to risk that. Oh, let's give it a shot. Oh, yep, it's fine. So once you cross this area, there's only one way you can really go. And that's up this way. And over here we find a pot. How odd. Hey! What'd you wake me up for? Man, I only slept, but 12 years. We have some peace and quiet. What you doing here, huh? And who exactly are you, anyway? What? You came here to look for the Magi thingamajig? And now you're stuck in the grove? Ha ha ha! Jeez, what a dumbo! Shouldn't have come here, you! What? You don't know how to destroy the Sadistas? Oh, come on, a little baby could do that. All you gotta do is ask a Truncodile to burn them out. What? You don't know how to talk to forest beasties? Yeah, I suppose you human folk can't do much, can ya? But you do have strength. Those lazy old Truncodiles never lift a claw, but you went and budged him, I saw ya. How? You were sleeping in a pot for 12 years. Whatever. So here's the plan, Stan. I help you chit-chat with them Truncodites, and you help me burn out them Sadistas. I mean, you did help out the geezer, so I guess I can do the same for ya. How about it? Alright. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. It's Nowi. And don't you go complaining about my love for small talk. Ha ha! Hi, Nowi. Nice to meet you. So, as you can see, she's now one of the abilities on our ability wheel thingy-majigger bob. And she can talk to those guys and kill both Sadistas and those hopping red things occasionally. Anyway, now that we've done that, we can go down here and then back up here, and cross where we couldn't before. Additionally, we can enter here, which hopefully will be the past, or else we're going to be stuck. Ha ha! Oh, it's the future. Shoot. Maybe we're stuck. We're not actually stuck, it'll be fine. Let's see, while we're here in the future, if that's what era this chest needed to be in order to be able to be gotten. Be able to be gotten. Nope, it's the past. Alright. Well, we'll be back here shortly. Also, very nice that they're sleeping now. So, Nowi. Hey, listen, I'm in another time, yeah? Come and join me if you want my help. So she only stays in the present. But, another thing to note is that she can fly over... Whoops. I accidentally hit shift there, so it ended it. She can fly over these vines. And those guys can kill trees. So, and for some reason killing them in the future also kills them in the past, because this whole forest is weird, timey-wimey, etc., etc. And in the future we can't lower this, so we're not going to be able to do much here. But if we go here and enter the past, we will be able to. Also, we can check if this chest is in the past. It's not. We're going to have to come back here in the future. I mean, present. I know how time works. Yes. Except we can't cross this way. Bananas! So we'll have to do that a bit later. For that, we gotta lower this. And then we die instantly. Because I forgot that we need to lower it from down here, so that we're not in the line of fire. Anyway, once we've done that, we can go up. And he's blocking the way forward, so it doesn't really help much. But, another important bit of information is that Nowi can go a bit further afield than you might have expected. But she can't cross that. She can, however, enter the Sadista's sphere of influence without dying. And using her, we can kill that guy, which is quite useful. Anyway, now that we've done that, we have that Sadista down. We need to get back to the present, I believe. Or no, wait, we could have done it in the future. Whoopsies! Oh god, now I have to spend this whole time doing all this stuff. One mistake costs you a bunch of time. Oh wait, I just need to do that. Never mind. And since we killed both that and the tomato, we don't have to worry about being hit there. Also, once we do this, we can move this guy out of the way. So now we can be able to cross back during the present or the past, and it won't be an issue. And we can also move this one out of the way, so we can cross this section in the present or past without it being an issue. So since we've done that, we might as well take the opportunity to go and get some items. Namely, that chest that we saw all the way up at the top, we can now access. By going all the way around this way. Also, if you talk to the Yoda tree while you're here, Sadista has overrun the secret of that sadism, but fight them I cannot. Yeah, he just kind of tells you to kill the Sadistas. Not that big an issue. But now that we can finally access the chest, unfortunately there's a lot of trial and error in kind of figuring out when certain things are accessible. As a tool of reference, they basically make it as difficult as possible to get most of the chests. But anyway, we can finally get this one, in which there is mana, which is sweet. So now we have another extra mana. Unfortunately, we're going to need more than just one if we want to upgrade people a bit more, so it's a good start, though. Anyway, once we get that, we need to walk all the way back. There's a lot of backtracking in this place because of the chest displacement, essentially. The chest time displacement. Sounds like some weird... You know what, not even going to go there. Anyway, once we've done that, we can now go down here. And I guess we can check if this chest is available yet. It's not. I think it was supposed to be the present that it's available in. Also, now that we're here in the future, let's see if we can get this chest down here next to the Yoda tree. Which I'm not sure. Yes, it is the future. Also, you can see the Yoda Tree's 3D sprite, which is quite interesting looking. You get green goop! It's sticky! Yet more of this stuff. But it's alright. It's another chest down. So, now let's go back to the present. Or no, this is going to take us to the past, isn't it? No, this is the present. Sweet. Okay, so now that we're back in the present, we can... And that we moved that tree out of the way, or Trunkadile, as they're called, we can access this chest, in which there is... Oricon ore. So now we've got slightly more. How much Oricon ore do we have now? 2? I think we have 2 Oricon ore now. Yep, so now we can make the belt the next time we're in the right place to do so. As you can see, there's not much point to going this way at the moment. We need to come back here during the future, because only then will we be able to actually pass those Sadistas. So, let's go into the past. Oh no, this just takes us to the future. Man, I don't know how any of this stuff works, apparently. Anyway, once we get up here, we can access this section and use Fina to destroy this. And then we can go around this way. And... wait a minute. Wait just one gosh darn minute. Ah yes, here we go. We can go around this way and use this to push the Trunkadile over here, which means we'll be able to kill the Sadista if we go back to the present. Quite nice. And that will allow us to move forward. So let's go back to the present. If we can, is this going to be the past or the present? This is the past, as I guess could have been expected. And that's not active because it's the past, not the future. And so we'll go back here to the present. Lots of warping. Alright, now that we're back in the present, we need to get Nowi ready, because she is going to allow us to move forward again. Oh, right, can't do that yet. So instead of doing that, we need to break the vines with Fina, who can apparently briefly be in the range of Sadista without needing to worry. And then we can go over to this Trunkadile and kill the Sadista. Quite nice. And once we've done that, you may have seen earlier, I'll show it again. Actually, I can't show it again. We need to go back to the future? No. We need to... Ah, yes, that's what we need to do. Once we do that, we need to move this Trunkadile out of the way again. Luckily, they have this section for us, which lets us move onwards and access this little point. And this should hopefully take us to the past. Yes. At which point we can knock down this tree, which lets us cross back to the beginning if we wanted to, but it also lets us access up here. And up here there's going to be another... This puzzle is interesting. It's... The first time I did it, I didn't realize how it's to some extent very simple, but in other respects very complicated. You basically just need to race this Trunkadile back. And they move slower in the past. You just need to make sure that you are not in its range. Oh, shoot. Also, they kill you in one hit when they do that. I guess I forgot a section. Hold on. I'll meet you back. Oh, shoot. We did it, Oni. We're almost out of the Sacred Grove. All we need to do now is return to our own time. Well, we could, but we're going to do something else instead. Which is continue trying to do this puzzle. Bonk. Alright, I think you have to do it in the present. So, if it's in the present, he's not close enough to... The Sadista's not active to kill you, but you are still slow enough that I can get past you. I think that's what we have to do here. Okay, so, here we go again. We want to be able to move... You have, like, just enough time to be able to move fast enough to get ahead of him so that you can get into here. And you need to do that so that you can move him down so that he will be able to burn both those trees and the Sadista there. Ow, my knee. Anyway, once we've done that, we can go back to the... Actually, we have to go to the past because we can't access where we were from where we were. Anyway, once we get rid of that Sadista, we can... Well, firstly, there is a reward for getting rid of all of the Sadistas, so you have to do it for that, but it also lets us get access to a chest. So if we didn't have it in the past, we wouldn't be able to make it back through here. But right now we can. Unfortunately, we can't go back that way at the moment, but we can still go back this way, which will be useful for just a second. So now we can go up this way, and don't be too far to the left. I mean, I don't think that matters, but still gives us access to over here, where there is a chest that we can access right now. Ha Alright. I'll meet you back when it's available. I think it's going to be the present, but it's just a matter of traveling through the time periods to get to the right one. And we can access this treasure chest, which is the Nowi card! 17 out of 61. The Nowi card is the card we saw that Sylph play earlier. It's a 0-3 for, I think, 1 that generates a mana every turn. So it's pretty useful. But with that, we've done everything we need to do with this top part of the forest. We do need to go back down to the bottom part of the forest and do a few pretty complicated puzzles to get some items and... Oops. There we go. To get some items and to kill the last few Sadistas to get the last item from... I believe the Yoda tree will give it to us. And as you can see, if we can get back to the present, we'll be able to activate Nowi, which we probably should have done first, actually, come to think of it. So, let's go back to the present. Alright. Back to the present, and from here we can use Nowi to trigger this. And kill this Sadista, which is quite nice. I believe we only have 1 or 2 Sadistas left, but they have some of the more complicated puzzles involved with them. So what we're going to have to do involves a lot of manipulation. So, before we continue onwards, I'm just going to check... Oh, yes, that's right. Okay, so we're going to need to push that Trunkadile into the area with us, because there's a Sadista there that we need to be able to access. So, in order to do that, we have to go into the future. And we can't. Lovely. Oh, right, we need to do it from the other side. That's right. Okay. I got a bit ahead of myself. We can't do it from here because... Oh. Whoops. No. Yeah, I'm sorry. We can move. We can technically move from that way, but it doesn't do anything. So, instead of doing all that, we're going to have to go this way. Oh, where the stuff doesn't grow this time, which is good, because otherwise we would have been trapped. We would have been trapped. Yes. No. So, we're going to have to get to the future, which, if you'll remember, we did last time by manipulating these mushrooms. Whoops, I didn't wait long enough. Yeah, this section still annoys me. I don't know why. And then we can get over here. I have to make sure this mushroom is down before we go into the future. So the last Sadista, or maybe second to last. Or no, I think that is the last Sadista's over there. So now that we are in the future, we don't have to worry about these guys killing us, so we can push this guy all the way over. I don't think we need to do that. I think it should be fine. So once we've done that, we just need to get to the present, because I believe this pushes him to being... Oh, no, we need to go back to the past so that we can manipulate him a bit more. Wait a minute. Alright, I can't go down that way. Shoot. And I held it down for too long, so now there's going to be even more of a cooldown. Leave. We can move just barely around him. Yes, good. So, once we do that, we can push this guy the rest of the way towards where we want him to go. I believe that should take us to him being in the right position. Yes. It also opens up this way for us, which is quite useful. And once we do that, we can go to the future, and then we'll have to go to the present. Luckily, we can go that way right now. I forgot to hit the mushroom again. I'm dumb. Alright. Back to the past. Then we hit the mushroom. As you can see, that chest is there in the past, so we're going to have to get all the way over there in the past. Somehow. Anyway, now that the mushroom is down, we can go back this way, which will allow us to get to the present. Or at least it should. And then once we've gotten to the present, we can kill the Sadista. And with that, we now have made it to where we were hoping to get to. Once we've killed that Sadista, we just need to freeze that guy so that we don't get killed by the Trunkadile. Unfortunately, that was not quite the right position, so we're going to have to wait a little bit. Alright, come on, Tomato Man. There we go. Alright, and now we've crossed this area again. And once we've done that, we can go here, which I believe will take us to the future. Yep. And we do that so that we can move this guy out of the way. Whoops, not, whoops, 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 whoops. So many mistakes. Arg. But we need to move this guy back so that we can cross without, in the past without being killed by him. So, once we have the ability to do that, there we go. Alright. We can go here. And then we can, ow, get hit by a thing, but that's alright. And then go this way, where Velvet should be able to get us across, and kill a slime in the process. And then we can go in here, to the future, just in case. And go back to the past. There we go. So now we have done basically all we need. Also, on our way out, we're just going to hit this guy once so that he moves out of the way, so we'll be able to move back properly and not have to go through that whole top section again. Anyway, here's Velvet, and she has frozen both of those and the tomato guy, which is fine. There's just one thing that we need to avoid here, and that is being too far to the right there. Luckily, we managed to do so. And now we can cross all the way up here and get the last treasure chest in this area, which contains me as a card. It is whatever your character is named as, so that's quite fun. And that card is quite a good card, I believe. As you can see, it's the very first one. It's a 7-mana 5/10 with range attacks. That's pretty nice. Anyway, that is the last item we need to get here besides the one we can get from the Yoda tree. I don't know if we have to go... Just in case, I'm going to leave first, because then we have a little tracker show up. So I'm just going to go to leave and then come back in and immediately go back to the Yoda tree. I'll probably skip some of that just to save you some time. Anyway, killing all the Sadistas really frees up the Sacred Grove, so now we can move around pretty freely without consequence. So back here in the present, we can cut this down and then go to leave. When we do, now he pops out. Sorry, bub, I can't be leaving this forest. Fairy folk like me couldn't live in the outside. It's a matter of quantum physics, because I can't be in every time in multiple spaces at once, or some junk. Bye-bye now! So she leaves. And then she's back again. Woohoo! You blew up all them Sadistas. Pretty strong for a human, ain't ya? Hurry, let's go and see the Yoda tree. So yeah, she flew off and then came right back. I don't really know what's up with that. And now she's back again. Already back? Yeah, you also... What was that you were saying about not being able to be in multiple places at once? Well then, let's split. Yep. So she joins your party every time you enter, and by killing all the Sadistas before you leave, you actually cause a weird thing to happen where it's strange. She leaves and then is also there because there's a trigger at the end of the area if you've killed all the Sadistas. I guess they assume that you're not going to kill all the Sadistas on your first time through. But yeah, once we do that, we just need to get back to the Yoda tree. And he's going to give us a little reward for our hard work and efforts. Ow. And Velvet's going to let us cross this again. It's quite nice to be able to move all this way in the past without having to worry about being killed. Also, because that Sadista's gone, we don't even need to worry about this section either, so we can just, get hit by blobs over and over again. Lovely. Yeah, you don't really have to worry about the only enemies you have to worry about in this area are the instant-kill ones, so... Oh. The path's not wide enough unless you're in the present. Interesting. Alright, well... I could just push those guys out of the way. Weird. Well, in that case, we're just gonna have to do it this way. And... Oh man, that means we're gonna have to trigger... We're finally back here in the past. Just need to wait for Velvet, so we can cross this bridge. And freeze that guy for no reason whatsoever. And then we can go up this way, where... What? What? Oh, there's a blob there that was invisible. Or at least not in an easily seen position. Alright. Knock this mushroom down. Wait for him to recharge so I can knock this one down. And then we can go and talk to the Yoda tree. Hey, Mr. Yoda tree. Oh, freed the forest from the Sadistas you have. Reward you I must then. And for a reward we get his tree. Get the Yoda tree card. The Yoda tree is basically a souped-up version of Nowi. The whole forest thanks you for your aid. For your aid thanks you the whole forest does. There you go. So, if you want to see what the card looks like, it is a 3-mana 0/12 that generates mana every turn. So that's a pretty useful card. Anyway, that's all we had to do here, so I will meet you back outside. Alright, so back here at the entrance. Now he's going to leave again for the actual real time this time. Sorry, bub, I can't be leaving this forest. Fairy folk like me couldn't live in the outside. It's a matter of quantum physics, because I can't be in every time in multiple spaces at once, or some junk. Well, I've seen you in multiple spaces at once. Bye-bye now. Or you can teleport. I don't know which. Either one, you're kind of strange. Anyway, that is all we had to do to get the Fragment of Nature. So, next time we'll be going after a different fragment. Probably the Fragment of Ice, but that may depend. Anyway, see you guys then. Bye!